2, 3, 4.
Hello! I'm interrupting Isaac doing his weird introduction. How are you guys? It's so fabulous to have you here at Kids Church.
I was trying to count to 10 in Spanish, but I forgot. All right.
Oh, well, good morning. It is lovely. Guess what? Including today, there are only 5 Sundays left until we are back at church.
Woo!
This is the last day of October, so that means that tomorrow is like all of November, and then we are back for Party December.
Is it called Party December?
Oh, that's what we can call it. It's called Homecoming Sunday. That's very fancy.
No, we're having Party December.
Party December 5th.
Everyone's gonna have party hats, and we're just gonna have a party day.
Oh, we should get party hats.
Well, we should, but also no poking each other in the eyeballs. All right. You can wear a party hat, but as soon as someone pokes someone else in the eyeball, we're taking them off you. Does that sound like a good idea?
It's from you. That's the grammar.
Taking them off you.
We're gonna go get it. Off they go.
Yeah.
Up with your party heads.
Yeah, no party heads. Speaking of Beck, what's happening today?
Today it is pretty exciting because it is one of our Power Up series, which is going to be fantastic. So stay tuned for an awesome message and some fun praise and worship.
Yes, worship.
I'm puffed out from dancing.
Someone's going to have a message. I can't remember who it is off the top of my brain. Beck, do you remember who it is?
No.
Wait, hang on, wait. This person is sharing the message.
Oh, I thought I was going to find it.
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Wait, let's do that again. This person is sharing the message.
We can't wait. We were prepared for the pre-show.
But the pre-show, speaking of the pre-show.
Yes.
We're going to play a fun game.
Oh, yes. Okay, party. Yeah.
It's a game.
Is it a dance-off? Because I win.
Just let me get it. We're playing Butthead.
That's rude.
No, it's like headbutt, but it's just a play on words, alright? So, this is how you play. You've got to get...
Is that how you headbutt someone?
Yes, but
It hurts.
you get a special hat. Beck, this is your special hat.
Which way does it go?
This is my special hat.
Which way does it go on?
There are 3 balls. Just pick a side.
I feel like 200 has to be at the back.
This one. This way is the front. So the way that it's pointing. She does not have a pointing. Yeah, that way.
Okay.
So shove it on your head. That way.
Oh, 100's at the back.
Yeah, 100's at the back. Put it on your head.
Oh, that looks beautiful. Do you have to do up the bows?
My ears don't fit in.
It's like I feel like a lifeguard.
We've got our lifeguard helmets on.
Can I do up the bow?
My ear doesn't fit in. My ear's too big. All right, there we go. Wait, no, it's backwards. It's backwards. It's definitely backwards. It's 100's at the front, 200's at the back.
Oh, is mine wrong?
It's definitely the wrong way.
Is mine wrong?
Yeah, no, the other way.
I said that.
But I was wrong. All right.
200 should be at the back.
I just tied it up too much. All right, there we go. No, that's the wrong way. Swap. No, hang on. We'll be back in a minute once we've tied our things up.
My earrings. I don't know why they're tied. It's gonna come off.
It's gonna come off.
There you go.
Okay, we're back. So we've got our special helmets on. We've got our 3 not tennis balls.
Is that actual instructions, or are we just like throwing them at
The instructions for this game are how to play. A player to sit on a chair or stand still while his team members throw balls at him. From a fixed distance.
Ooh.
This is really bad English. Throw balls at him, comma. From a fixed distance, comma, to catch with his hat.
Comma. Oh, that's hat.
Full stop.
Full stop.
The winner is the team with the highest aggregate score.
Wow.
Ooh, an aggregate. Alright, let's get this out. Let's just throw it at each other and see what happens. I'm going to do this. Do you want to stand there? You want to go first? Can you see?
From my fixed position. Should we zoom out a little bit?
Yeah, we'll zoom out. But you stand at that shoe, I'll stand at this shoe, and then we'll do... let me just zoom out. Alright. Okay.
Skill.
Here we go.
This is so
It's probably very hard. So, wait, hang on. If you look at my helmet, 100 points. 50 points on the side. I don't know if you can see that. And 100 and 200 points at the back.
Oh, let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna go. Should we do? Let's play 2 rounds.
Okay.
Like best of 3.
That's 3 rounds.
That's 3 rounds. So we're gonna play 3 rounds. Maybe we'll do one now. We'll do one in the middle of kids' church and one at the end of kids' church to find out who
I
wins.
like it.
Okay, I'm gonna stand here and
So a person who is catching gets points.
Yes.
Because they have to try and figure out how to catch.
I'm gonna stand still. No, you throw it. You get.
Oh, because they can't move.
Yeah, I'm not moving.
Oh.
I'm a statue.
Oh.
0.
Oh, what?
0.
Your head though. I bounce it off and it hits it.
0.
Alright, you're done.
Okay, I'm gonna pick them up. Got him!
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Stand still, like a tuna.
I don't like this. I feel really uncomfortable.
100 points!
My head feels funny. Did you knock one off?
100 points. I got 100 points.
It feels really ticklish on my head.
I got 100 points. All right, we're gonna go to the first part of kids' church. Let's go.
You can do your dancing like I've been dancing.
Yeah, let's go to some praise and worship.
Ready
We
for
will
Party Sunday.
Party Sunday, where everyone wears a party hat. We'll do that, and then we'll come back, play round 2.
Have you heard of the one called Savior? Have you heard of his perfect love? Have you heard of the one in heaven? Have you heard how he gave his son? 'Cause I have found this love, I believe in this son. Show me your way. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be, and nothing will ever change that. I believe in the one called Savior. I believe he's the risen one. I believe that I'll live forever. I believe that the King will come. 'Cause I have found this love, and I believe in his son. Show me your way. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. 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 Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be, and nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, you will always be, nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, you will always be, nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend, you will always be, nothing will ever change that. 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 feel it deep in my bones, from my head into my toes. When I think of all you've done for me, I wanna celebrate, celebrate. This love can't be tamed, this joy I cannot explain. When I think of all you've done for me, I wanna celebrate, celebrate. We're gonna jump, 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 shake the ground. We're gonna lift our hands, spin around, 'cause there's nothing better than the joy we found in you. We're gonna jump, we're gonna jump. Can't hold it back no more. Let's be bold and tell all the world. Come on, tell him what he's done for us. I wanna celebrate, celebrate. We're gonna jump, 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 shake the ground. We're gonna lift our hands, spin around, 'cause there's nothing better than the joy we found in you. We're gonna jump, 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 shake the ground. We're gonna lift our hands, spin around, 'cause there's nothing better than the joy we found in you.
Know it and you shout it out, say, oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
'Cause if you're happy and you know it and you shout it out, say, oh yeah.
oh yeah. 'Cause if you're happy and you know it, you know you gotta show it. You know you gotta show the world. We're gonna jump, 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 shake the ground. We're gonna lift our hands and spin around, 'cause there's nothing better than the joy we found in you. We're gonna jump, 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 shake the ground. We're gonna lift our hands, spin around, 'cause there's nothing better than the joy we found in you. We're gonna jump, 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 shake the ground. We're gonna lift our hands, spin around, 'cause there's nothing better than the joy we found in you. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
sing oh yeah,
oh yeah.
'cause there's nothing better than the joy we found in you. Sing Jesus
Jesus
is awesome,
is awesome.
'cause there's nothing better than the joy we found in you. Let's clap. Let me be filled with kindness and compassion for the one in whom you loved and gave your Son for humanity. Increase my love, so help me to love with open arms like you do, and love that erases all the lines and sees the truth. Oh, that when they look in my eyes, they wouldn't see you, even in just a smile. They would feel the Father's love. How you loved us, from the homeless to the famous and in between. You formed us, you made us carefully, 'cause in the end, we're all your children. So help me to love with open arms like you do, a love that erases all the lines and sees the truth. Oh, that when they look in my
We continue with round 2 of Butthead.
Isaac is in the lead
A play on words of headbutt.
with 100 points.
I have 100 points.
I am on zilch.
That's not a
Zero.
that's not a word. Yep. All right. There we
Is
go.
that actually not a word?
I don't know. It's probably a word in another language.
I thought it was another language, yeah.
Beck, do a Google. Show us what the answer is. Wow, that was a great answer.
Well, I have got good brain power.
That was a really good answer.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
Round 2.
Alright, you pegged it at me and that's what got it on because they're so soft, so pegging at it's not supposed to hurt. Oh, I just went too far. Oh. Oh. I'm so sad.
Next! Boom! Okay, my turn. I'm gonna definitely get 3,000
I can't believe I got none!
You okay there?
Falling over.
Felling over.
Fell over, falling down.
1, 2, 3, stop moving. Oh, that's very good. Can you just zoom in on her face right now? You look like a little tuna. 100 points! Shh. Tunas don't speak. They go like this. Shh. Stop it. That's pretty good.
Now, this person is going to take us to the message.
Fantastic! Alright, good morning. How are you today? Thank you very much for asking. I'm good too. How are you? Yep, very good. What? Well, hello. Welcome to Kids Church today. It is me, Isaac. I didn't actually realize that I was on the message. I completely forgot. But I'm on the message, and I've obviously embarrassed myself by being me in the message in the pre-show. But that's okay. And you know what? Today we are going to be continuing our Power Up series. Our Power Up series. And today what we are going to be talking about is intimidation. And I'm not saying that we're... Ooh, big truck going past. Hello, big truck. Bye. Bye. Where was I? Today we're going to be talking about intimidation. So, we want to power up in terms of our intimidation. We don't want to be intimidated. We want to help God. We want God to help us with being intimidated. Right? I don't want to be intimidated. I know that God doesn't want us to be intimidated as well. God is God. God is massive. And people are people. God is eternal and all-powerful. And people are temporal and as strong as their muscles are. Right? So, we're going to be talking today about how we can power up in intimidation. Right? We don't want to be afraid of people around us. We don't want to be swayed by people's opinions or things like that. We want to know and be confident in God and the things that He has for us. Yeah? So we're going to power up in that today. If you haven't been here for a little while, that's okay. What we've been talking about this will be the 3rd week. So the first couple of weeks we were talking about powering up in our doubts and fears. So our fears and doubts. And like I mentioned in the first one, if you missed these, go back and have a look because it's just 2 videos ago. If you want to check that out, we want to power up in our fears and our doubts because we don't want to be feared. We don't want to fear people and things. We want to be bold children of God. God doesn't want us to be hiding behind a rock when we could be out there fighting an awesome battle for Him. Yeah. The 2nd week was our anger. We want to power up in our anger. Alright? So it's not saying that, let's get angry. Rah! It's saying that we want to get better in our anger. We don't want to point our anger towards people and things that's not very helpful. We want to say, hey God, I just want to get better. And I love you. And I need you to help me with these things that sometimes I might get angry with. Yeah? Because I know we're completely human. It's okay to get angry, right? But we want to know the things that we're supposed to do with that anger. We don't just hold on to it and let it like stir up and get all yucky, because that's not good. But we want to give that to God, and we want to power up in how we do anger, right? Yeah. Anyway, so that's your quick recap. If you want to check them out, go back to the first couple because they are really good, and check them out. Anyway, so today, intimidation. Today we're going to power up in terms of our intimidation, right? It's not saying we're going to get more intimidated. We want to rely on God when we are or may be intimidated, yeah? So, just like I mentioned before, God is God, right? God is the God who goes before us, who stands beside us. He's the guy who is with us all the time. And sometimes I think we can forget that, right? Have you ever been a little bit intimidated by something that someone said or done or wants you to do or anything like that? Yeah, me too. But we don't need to be intimidated, right? Because we've got God on our side. God's massive. God's everywhere. He knows everything and he's ultimately strong, right? He's awesome. So, today we're going to talk about three guys. Well, not three people. It's actually 5 people, but in 3 stories that we're going to be talking about today. So, let me tell you which ones they are, and then we'll go on about how those 5 people, 3 stories, powered up over and overpowered and were empowered, lots of power today, over their intimidation, yeah? So, let's just watch a quick video and I think you'll be able to find out the first person.
In fact, one king named Darius liked Daniel so much that others got jealous. They tried to get Daniel in trouble. But they knew the only way to do that was to make a law against God. They suggested that everybody pray only to King Darius. That made the king feel important, so he made it a law. Anybody who disobeyed would spend the night in a den of lions. Daniel kept right on praying, though, and when King Darius found out, he was sad. He didn't want to punish Daniel, but now it was the law. He said, "May your God whom you serve faithfully rescue you." And guess what? God did! He sent an angel to shut the lions' mouths. Daniel served 4 important kings, and he followed God. But whenever it came down to obeying God or the king, Daniel chose God every time, no matter what. And even though Daniel had to do some really hard things, God was always with him. And that's the story of Daniel.
Alright, so, Daniel's a pretty cool guy. It's one of like my favorite stories in the Bible. Daniel's like the coolest guy, right? Just like in that story, Daniel didn't bow down, or, well, bit of a foreshadowing bowing down. You might be able to tell now who the next 3 people are. But anyway, Daniel didn't go with what the people of the day or the law said he was supposed to do, right? I'm not saying you need to go and break all the laws, but what we need to do is put God before anything else, yeah? Just like in that recap at the end, Daniel served 3 kings, right? Daniel was an awesome guy. He served 3 kings, and in all of those kings that he served, he chose God. Right? He didn't just like, oh, maybe for the first and second king, I'll pick God. Then the third king, maybe I'll have a break and I'll just let the king pick what I'm gonna do, and then the 4th king I'll go back to God, because you know then I've done more good than bad. No, Daniel knew that he wasn't supposed to be intimidated by anything that the king did, whether it was being thrown into a lion's den or not. Right? He was faithful to God, and I want to make sure that I'm faithful to God as well. Here's a verse from the Bible. It is from Proverbs chapter 29, verse 25. It says, "If you are afraid of people, it will trap you. But if you trust in the Lord, He will keep you safe." And that's exactly what happened with Daniel in this story. He could have trusted in people, and he said, "Oh, okay, cool. I won't pray to God because that's what the king says." But that means he would have been trapped. He still says he believes in God, but he's not doing the things that show or act out that he believes in God. So he's trapped, right? He's sort of stuck in this little box that says, "I love God, but I can't come out because that's what the people always say," right? But he knew that God's the boss, and he was like, "Hey, even though there's things around me that are going crazy, and I'm a little bit intimidated, and he might have been a little bit scared. He was probably a little bit scared, but he knew that God is the boss. God's bigger than any person, right? Remember, God lasts forever. He was and is and will be, right? That's what the Bible says. It says he was here before the beginning. He's been here forever. Our brains can't even understand that, because everything that we know starts and ends. But God isn't like that, yeah? And he knew that God, who is big and has a big brain, knew what was right for him. So I want to be like Daniel in the way that I trust God, even all the way through my life. It's not like I'm gonna, just like I mentioned before, it's not like for the 1st and 2nd Kings or the 1st and 2nd teachers at school, I'm gonna follow God. Then like maybe when I hit like year 3, I'll just stop following God, and then year 4 I'll come back. No, we want to make sure. Whoa, there's lots of wind again. Stop wind, please. I'm trying to talk to the people. We want to make sure that we are choosing God all the time. Yeah. Second people. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, or Abednego. I thought it was always Abednego, but it's actually Abednego, but it's a little bit confusing. But anyway, those guys also, they were friends of Daniel's. This happened a bit before the lion's den, but they were friends of Daniel's, and something fell again. And I love this story because they did exactly the same thing. They trusted God. They didn't waver from the side to side. They said, hey, when the trumpets or the musical instruments play the noises, when the instrument, everyone had to bow, right? But they knew that they serve a God who is bigger and higher and knows more and is more powerful, and can save them, right? Remember that verse that says, if you follow people, you're trapped, but if you follow God, he will save you. He'll keep you safe. And so they did that. They picked God over the people, and they were thrown into the fire. And the fire was way hotter than it usually was. So the guards who were actually going to throw them in there died, and God kept them safe. I'm not saying, right? Okay, I'm not saying go and jump in a fire, right? There was a specific situation where God protected them, and I'm not just saying go and jump in a fire because God's not going to let you burn. That's not the point. I'm just saying that even though the king, the people around them were saying, oh no, you don't have to follow God, you don't have to follow God, don't follow God, otherwise we're going to throw you in the fire, they weren't intimidated, and they knew that God would save them. So the third person that we're going to be talking about, the third story that we're going to be talking about, and the 5th person is David, from David and Goliath. That amazing story, the massive battle, the craziest, one of my favorite battles in the Bible, because it wasn't like there was 1,000 people versus 1,000 people, or 10,000 people, or 100,000 people versus everyone. It wasn't like a massive battle. It was just like David going like, hello, I will fight you, and Goliath was going like, no, you will not fight me because I'm big and you are small. I'm sure that wasn't how it was, but that's how sometimes my brain thinks it was. I don't know about the accent though. Maybe he didn't have that accent. It was probably a different language, because they were Philistines. Where was I? All right, yes, we're powering up in our fight and empowerment and power against intimidation, right? This is, I feel like, the ultimate example of not being intimidated by something, because David was so small and Goliath was so big, and Goliath was, years training, right? He was how about let's just watch the video and then we'll come back to it, okay?
Here's the quick version. David was a shepherd. He brought his brother's lunch. He saw Goliath. Goliath scared everybody. David wasn't scared. He knew God was stronger. David fought Goliath. He used one stone. God helped him kill Goliath. The Israelites won. God's people were saved. And that's a part of God's story.
All right, so we're back. So, at this point, right, you've seen that Goliath is massive, David is tiny. If it was me, I'd probably, or if it was you, right, I probably would just say, hey, it's all good, man. Like, that guy's massive. There's a bunch of trained soldiers out the back here that like actually know what they're doing. They've got swords and they've been fighting people for like years, and it's fine. You can just go home. We'll sort it out together. But the amazing thing is that David didn't just let it go. He was like, even though this guy's massive, my God is bigger, right? And that is the ultimate that I can think of in my brain of a person relying on God to say and truly know that God's on their side. And they were like, hey, It's all good. I'm just a shepherd guy. I take care of sheep for a living, and you know, I'm gonna take you out now, and it's gonna be real cool, and we're gonna win, and because God's on my side. All of those stories are amazing, right? Like, there's David, who is faithful over a long time, right? He served 4 kings. He didn't decide that for the first 2 kings he was gonna serve God. Then he was like, oh, maybe I won't serve God for the 3rd king, and I'll just go and do whatever the king wants, and you know, it's okay, king. I'm just gonna let you do your thing, and then when you die, I'm gonna go back to serving God, and it'll be fine. He didn't give in to that sort of intimidation. He went back and prayed even when it was against the law. Yeah? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew that even if their life was on the line, they would trust God. Yeah? They weren't intimidated by that. Sure, they may have been a little bit scared, but they trusted that God would come through, whether they lived or died. And they lived, as we know. And David, the most amazing story, well, one of my favorite stories, personally. I don't know about you, but David's trust in God and throwing intimidation out the window was probably the ultimate way that we can try and understand and know how much God stands before us. He goes before us, he stands beside us, and he's with us. Because if we just rely on people, like that verse, if we rely on people, we'll get trapped. But if we rely on God, he'll keep us safe. And man, David killed that guy, and then in the Bible it says he chopped off his head with his own sword, with Goliath's sword. That's some pretty good insult to injury stuff right there. It's like, haha, I killed you with a rock, and then I chopped your head off with a sword. That's a bit gruesome, but it's what happened in the Bible. And man, that's ultimate reliance on God. Yeah? So why don't we do that this week? Why don't we power up and rely on God? We're not going to be intimidated. We're going to be courageous. So let me read that verse from Proverbs to you one more time, just so it's in your brain. So it comes from Proverbs chapter 29, verse 25. If you're afraid of people, it'll trap you. But if you trust in the Lord, he will keep you safe. So let's trust in God today and tomorrow and the day after. Let's be faithful in, whether we serve 4 kings or we sit under 4 teachers, friends, all those types of things, leaders. Let's be faithful to God, no matter what they say, no matter how hard it might get. I'm sure it was very hard for Daniel and for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I'm sure it was really hard, but they chose to follow God, and look where it got them. They got chucked in a fire and they were still alive. And David then became the king of Israel, right? And I just want to make sure that I'm relying on God every day, because remember, God is massive. He made everything. He's been here forever, and people aren't. People are temporal. The world is temporal, and I want to make sure that I'm following God. And hey, if you're here for the first time today and you don't know who God is, or you want to know more about God, head down to the description below and, hey, stop that bird, that's too loud. I'm trying to talk to the people. Shh. Anyway, so if you're here for the first time, and you want to know more about God, you want to find out about how good he is, or you just want to know about how you can follow him, head down to the description below, and there's a video in there, there's a link in there that will send you to a video, and that will tell you about how you can follow God and ask Jesus into your heart. Because you can't rely on God if you haven't said, hey God, I want to be your best friend, and I want to be in a relationship with you, and I need you to forgive me for the things that I've done, right? So I highly recommend you do that, because being in God's family is the best thing that I have ever done. And having God as my Lord and my Savior is amazing. So I hope you go out this week and you are empowered, and you power up your courageousness and your boldness against any intimidation that might come against you. Rely on God. I'm not saying just go and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go and jump in a fire and all those sorts of things. I'm just saying, well, it's windy. I'm just saying, that we're going to rely on God this week. So let's do that together. Anyway, I will talk to you next week. The wind is coming back, so I'm going to go. Bye! Okay, so this is the final round. Thank you, this person, for doing the message.
Well done.
It was great. Next, this is the final round.
And I think YMCA and I got two stuck on my head.
Alright, what we're going to do is for the final round, I am going to, should I stand or should I kneel?
I don't know.
You're too short, so I'm going to kneel. I'm going to kneel on my two shoesies. And I'm going to kneel here, and you're going to go one shot, two shot in the middle, and then a third shot over there. And you've got to get it on my head.
200 points, that's what I got to beat.
It's dingling. All right, we're neck and neck.
No!
Oh, no, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. All right, so Beck got 200 points. If I get one more on, Beck loses. All right, let's swap. It's the final one! Why, Becky? You're so small, Beck.
I feel really tiny. With my funny
Okay,
mouth.
ready? Here we go. Stop. And here you go. Boop. Oh! Boop. 100 points! And then only 100 points. But look at the little bloop on her head.
I'm very sad.
I won the game with 300 points total. Beck got 200 points. Now you want me to give you a hand up?
Please. That was so graceful. Thanks. Can't hurt my arm.
That was fantastic. All right, well, I'm going to go swimming now. This is my new lifeguard cap. Wait, hang on.
Sorry, I'm in a weird mood.
Here's a life buoy. You just keep him here. You say, "Oh, do you need some help swimming?" Yeah.
Here you go.
Catch this.
Floaty.
Anyway,
We'd be great lifeguards.
we would
Except
be
I don't like
fantastic
the ocean
lifeguards.
and I don't like swimming.
No. Thank you for coming today. We hope you had fun with our beautiful selves. This person, the person who
You
did the
did
message.
such a good job.
It was so good,
And
man.
you know what? If you want to know more about Jesus,
Yes.
follow the link because we have fun and we're a cool family.
Have a look in the
To
description.
the description link.
Below.
Where it says for more about following Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the
5 weeks.
pool.
Well, 4 weeks now.
I mean-
4 more weeks.
I'm gonna go and start swimming to the pool.